everybody, I wanted to do a vlog based off, and there goes my phone interrupting my, sorry. Hi everyone, I wanted to do a vlog based off of some questions in a questionnaire that I had posted on my Tumblr account, and I don't usually get a lot of people who ask me questions, you know, from those long lists of have you ever's or tell us about this or what was your most embarrassing moment or whatever those questions are. It's just a long list of like 100 questions. I don't usually get a lot of people asking me any numbers or letters, but I got 2 people, which, yay, thank you so much, and I'll have their names down in the description below. One of them is Jerusalem Crickets, and the other one I don't remember. I'm so sorry because it's not someone that usually messages me, so I can't remember it off the top of my head, and I don't have it written here, and I'm so sorry! I promise I'm so sorry. I totally am really horrible with names. But I wrote down the questions because there's only 5, you know. One person gave me 2 numbers, well no, both of them gave me 3 numbers, but one of them was repeated. So essentially 5 questions, right? 3 and 3. So here are the questions, and I thought they were really interesting, and they're the kind of questions that require a bit of longer answers. So I thought, why not just turn it into a video, and that way it's a little more interactive and interesting. So here we go! Have you ever found a writer who thinks just like you? If so, who? And I know it's gonna sound really cliche, but Anne Rice. Part of the reason why I really got into Anne Rice when I was younger, and I'm still a fan of her books to this day, is that the writing was very logical and methodical, and I think that's probably how I would write something as well. Not to say that I'm as good as Anne Rice, because no, but if I had a writing style, I think it would be very similar to Anne Rice's. Does that answer the question? I'm not sure if it does. Well, I mean, a writer's writing style is a reflection of how they think in a way, so we'll just say that answers the question and move on to the next one. Do you like your name? Is there another name you think would fit you better? Well, this one's a kind of a cheat because I already did change my name, as most of you already know. I mean, Miranda Audrey is not my real name. My real name's Christina. I like both my names, like my real name Christina Cruz and Miranda Adria. I think if someone were to come up to me and say Miranda, I would probably go, what? Who? What? And I would think that was, you know, they were talking to me, because Miranda Adria has been my moniker since I was, what, 15? Maybe even 14? So that's a long time to be using an alternate name, and it just becomes a part of you. So eventually, I think I'm gonna have to like just go with Miranda from now on, because I'm so used to hearing it and being called that online that Christina's just gonna be like the private name that only, you know, family members and best friends call me. So yeah, but no, I love both my names. 5 most influential books over your lifetime. I have to name 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea first, because that was the first really big book that I read, and I loved that book so much that I read it like 5 times in a row. No lie. I love that book so much. And I was so proud of myself because I was like 14 or something. Maybe 15 actually. I think it was, yeah, it was right after my 15th birthday, I think. And I had just finished, like, I was so proud of myself. I was like, yes! The book, like, it was one of the smaller copies, and that particular copy was 350 pages or something like that, and it was like, that was the first big book I had ever read. I just felt so happy and proud, and I'm like, I want to read it again. And you know, my mom was just like, you just read it. It's like, no, I want to read it again. So I went and read the book 4 more times. It's just, yeah. Oh God, I know this is gonna sound cliche, but the Bible. And the reason I'm saying the Bible is because I was raised Roman Catholic. So the Bible has always been a part of my life in some aspect, in some capacity. But yeah, I would have to say that's probably another influential book. If I had to name 3 more, that's kind of difficult. You'll have to give me a second. I'll probably have to like think and then do a film cut to the next one. So hold up. Okay, if I had to name a 3rd book, I would have to say Ishmael by Daniel Quinn. And it's not in my list of favorite books, but it is definitely an influential book. That was the kind of book that once I was done reading it, it changes you. It really does. That ending especially is just mind-boggling and really, really makes you stop and sit there and just think for hours. That the ending takes your breath away. That's the best way to say it. The ending takes your breath away. And if I had to name a third influential book, that would definitely be it. My fourth influential book is one that takes me back to middle school when I was in the gifted program, and and I had a teacher there who took us to a whole bunch of plays and musicals, and it was our English teacher, but he loved to take us to field trips to plays and things like that, as a way of extending the lesson on literature. And one of the books that I constantly read while I was in class was Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of Nim. And I don't know if some of you know, but that was the book that inspired the movie The Secret of Nim. But I loved that book so much, and I asked to read it so many times. He had a collection of books in the class where you could basically check them out like a library. He had little cards, and you would take the book that you wanted, you would sign your name, you would have the book for maybe about a week or 2 weeks, and then you'd take the book back, pick a different book, sign the paper, etc., etc., etc. I checked out that book so many times that by the end of the year, when it was time to go and move on to high school, he said, "Why don't you keep it? You love that book so much. You have read it 20 times. I want you to have it." So I still have that copy. I have 5 copies of Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of Nim. One of them being a copy that was released after the movie came out, so it's called The Secret of Nim instead. But yeah, I mean, definitely that book, because that story was just so great and beautiful and so deep and important. And shut up, phone, because I'm being philosophical and you're interrupting me. And now that I think about it, if I had to pick a fifth, and again, this is going to be so cliche, and people are going to be like, I hate that book. Watership Down. That would be my 5th book for sure. Watership Down was one of those books that I honestly thought was going to be something, and it turned out to be something completely different. And by the time I finished the book, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe what I just read. So, yeah, that would be number 5. But I say influential because of the impact that it had on me at the age that I read it. That's the important aspect, because I think if I had read that book, Watership Down, as an adult, I don't think it would have had the same impact. But, and it's also because when you're older, you get desensitized to things like violence and hatred and anger and the kind of things that were prevalent in Watership Down. But reading it as a teenager was just... And you got to remember, I led a very sheltered childhood up until I was 18. Once I was 18 and I had my car, that was my liberation, you know. That's when I declared myself, okay, I'm a teenager and I have a car. Bye, see ya, mom, I'll see you later. But up until then, I was very sheltered. So reading a book like that was, oof, yeah, life-changing. List the top 5 things you spend the most time doing in order. Okay, well, that list would have been different a few weeks ago, but as of today, working at home, playing Skyrim, playing with the cats, and going on Tumblr, I guess. I mean, I don't think this question's asking me about like basic necessities like eating or going to the bathroom. And of course my cats decide to start chasing each other again while I'm recording. 3 songs that you connect with right now. Oh, I hate questions about music. I always take forever because I can't decide which one to put in the 3rd spot. And oh, God. Give me a second. So I'm going to cut out the part where I sat here contemplating in total silence, trying to figure out what songs to choose. But I'll just mention the 3 that I've been listening to the most. Go from Grimes, Opulence by Brooke Candy, and Never, Past Tense by Tina Arena, which that one came out a while ago, and I think it's actually one of the remixes. For different reasons. Go from... I think my cats just broke something in the kitchen. Go from Grimes is just a really great song, and it's an awesome song to drive to, especially because it's just full of life and just volume, and everything just fills up and the speakers are booming. Opulence from Brooke Candy, I'm very iffy about white women or white people in general rapping, but I just really like that song. And the music video is, wow. I mean, you want to talk about opulence. Yeah, that music video pretty much encompasses opulence, so they did a good job on that one. But just, it's a really clever song, and it also helps that it was written by Sia, so I think that's part of the reason why I like it. Just very clever writing, very clever lyrics. And Never, Past Tense by Tina Arena, I mean, it's a song that I've liked for a long time, and I just got recently back into it again. So, yeah, I mean, the lyrics are pretty self-explanatory, and you can pretty much guess why I like it. Yeah, that's it. That's the 3 songs. Yay! Hooray! So that is pretty much it. Yay, those are the questions. And I thought they were pretty interesting questions, I hope. Maybe. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the little like button because it really does help, and subscribe for future uploads. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them down below. No hat this time. Woo, in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See ya!